All righty. Thank you, guys. Sorry about that.
Okay. So since we're recording now, I'll just mention that we started with our commencing form, which we've done in other videos, and then we did broadening one's chest. And now we're at the third one of the day where we're going to do dancing with rainbows. So we're starting this one with our hands on our lap, and we're going to bring one hand up just like we did with broadening our chest, and the other hand comes overhead. So our left hand is going to be up overhead and the palm is going to be close to our ear. It's not going to be touching your head, but close. And the other hand is palm up just as we were before. So we're going to slowly move to the other side. So we're going to go to the left side with our extended arm and slowly move to the other. So we're going toward the right side. And we're not going to stay here long, just as long as we kind of lock that in for just a split second, we're going to switch to the other side. And see, I'm extended to the left side now and slowly switching. And we do this with our breath in time with our slow, deep breaths. So we'll do a couple more on each side. So now I'm all the way to the left. And if you're on a different side than me, that's fine. No stress here. We're just trying to get our movement in and be comfortable. And let's do one more and we'll switch it up and we'll do circling the arms. So come back to the center, put my arms back toward my lap. Now, circling the arms is the one where we do two circles kind of to the front, directly in front of us. So we're going to sort of reach forward in front of our knees, cross our arms, cross our hands. They're going to come up past our face and then open up into two big circles, like overlapping in front of us, kind of to the side and to the front. So look, so they're going to come up in front of us and around to each side. So we're doing that slowly with our breath. So I'm coming up, up, around, and then back just in front of my knees. My hands cross, come up in front of my body, up and around. So that's about the speed that I'm going. So we'll do a few more of this one. Let's see how many we can get through today. And around. Let's do one more. So coming cross, coming up, around each side. Okay. So the next one, once we meet back with our hands in our lap, is going to be rowing the boat. Now this one, we're going to reach behind us. So the back of our hand is going to be sort of come down and reach behind us. It's going to reach back behind us, and our shoulders are just going to roll themselves here because you can only reach so far back naturally. Then they come overhead and our palms are facing our lap as we come down. So that rotation is going to naturally happen because our shoulders aren't made to go directly back in a perfect circle. So they kind of come to the side a little as we make these circles. So just let that natural rotation in the shoulder happen. That's what we're looking for. And I'm up, I'm coming down, palms coming down toward my lap. Then they sweep on through just past my knees and they reach up and around, shoulder rotates, our hands are up and they come back down. So we're going to do another one of those. Reach back, up and down. And hands come back naturally to the lap at the end of this one. Now from here, we're going to take our right hand and we're going to pretend we have a tiny ball or an orange in it. And we're going to do carrying the moon. So we're going to take our right hand and we're going to turn toward the left-hand corner. And we're going to hold it up toward the left-hand corner of the room in front of us. So that side, and we're going to slowly bring it down in front of us back to the center, switch hands. And then our left hand goes toward the right corner, holding our imaginary object up toward that corner. And then as soon as we've kind of locked that movement into that corner, we come back down. It's not locked, but for a split second, and I'm in the center, coming back up. So then the left corner, coming back down. And it's a pretty continuous movement. And now I'm back up and I'm all the way extended to the corner on the right side. And I'm coming down, center, and going toward the left side, and coming down. And we're breathing deeply on each side. And we're coming up on the left hand to the right corner and back to center. Now, the next one we're going to do is punching. So we're going to have our arms, we're going to have our elbows bent, our elbows kind of resting next to our rib cage. And my right hand is going to be in, we're going to have both in fists, but my right hand is palm down, left hand is palm up. And I'm going to extend, I'm extending the right hand. The left hand is still palm up. As I start bringing the right hand in, I rotate my wrist and the left hand is extended while the right one is back at my side. And we don't hesitate there. We just slowly keep moving. Now my right hand is fully extended. It's coming in. Both wrists are turning and my left hand is fully extended. So we're punching directly in front of us at shoulder height and rotating. So there's constant movement of both arms in this one. So I'm fully extended on the left, coming back in, switching, and the right one is fully extended. So coming back, switching arms, left is extended, coming in with that one, bringing the right out, it's fully extended. Now we'll do one more with our left hand. And we'll move on to the next thing. Okay, and the next thing is going to be twisting waist, pushing palms. Now we're not going to move both arms at the same time on this. We're going to take our stop sign hand, so our palm is going to be the same way, shoulder height toward our right palm will be toward the left corner of the room. So we're getting a nice little twist there. And we bring that completely in, kind of get in our center, and then we put the other palm, our left palm, toward the right corner of the room. And I'm facing the corner. So my nose is pointing at my hand, pointing at that corner when I'm facing it. So back to the center, right palm to left corner, coming back. And this is another where you can just breathe deeply on one side, inhale on one side, exhale on the other side. So we come back to center. Right palm, left corner, slowly coming in. Okay, so extend, bring it back in, extend, bring it back in. Okay, so the next one we'll do after this one is scooping from the seat. Now, in this one, we can bend forward and we can reach down and make this a big movement or a small movement, depending on your comfort level. We can pretend there's a bucket in front of us instead of the seat we're going to scoop from. But we're going to reach in front of our knees and we're going to cup our hands like we've gotten some water. And when we bend forward, we want to make sure we have a flat back. We bring it up toward our chin like we're going to take a drink, and then we switch our hand motion to where our hands are at our shoulders and the palms are facing the front of the room. So then we open up, we reach down in front of our knees again, cross our palms like we're going to hold water, we're going to get a drink. And right when we get close to our chin, we open it up like we surrender. Our hands are up and in front of us. So reaching, straight back here, come up, and then back to the I surrender position. That's what I like to think of it as. So reaching down. So I try to breathe in as I'm reaching down, breathing in as I'm coming up. So we'll do that a couple more times. So got the water in my hand, coming up, surrender, reaching down, hands together like I'm getting a drink, and then back to the surrender pose. Okay. So the next thing we'll do is bouncing a ball. So in bouncing a ball, we have our hands on our lap again, and I'm going to raise one hand just at shoulder height. My hand is going to be dangling here. And my knee is going to come up on that same side. So my right side, my hand is up, my knee comes up. And it's a practice to just work on our balance. So we're going to come up again on the other side. Slowly bring it down with a lot of control, because that's where you're working those muscles. Because if you drop it, you're not doing any work. Coming down, switching sides. So we're working on balance and just control of those muscles. So you don't think about how heavy your leg is until you're just kind of holding the weight of it up. So up, down. So just slowly bringing it up with a lot of control, coming down, coming up with control, and down. And this will be our last one of this one. Coming up with control and down. Okay. So next we'll do open form holding ball. And the next several, we're going to start in our ball position, like we're holding a basketball or something like that directly in front of us. Now I've got my right hand as the top of the ball, my left hand is the bottom of the ball. And we're going to slowly, the hand that's on top, I think about which elbow is on top, and we follow the elbow that's on top toward the corner of the ring. So we're following it, and we want to make sure that our nose is lined up with that corner as well. Then we slowly switch our hands and slowly go to the left side once that arm is on top. Switch. And whichever side we're on, we want our nose to line up with the corner, the direction, wherever the center of the ball is pointing to in that corner, we want to line our whole selves up with that. So I'm just continuing to move. I'm back in the center, going toward the right. Switch. Slowly moving toward the left. And then switch. And then this is another one, if I don't really say anything, these are the ones where we can inhale as we go to one side and exhale as we go to the other side. So we're moving, I'm going toward the right. Switch.
What is that one called, Rachel?
Open form holding ball. Switch. And then let's come back to the center here. But yeah, that's open form holding ball. And right now my right hand is on top, and we'll switch. This makes for some easier transitions. We'll switch to the single whip form. So single whip, we're going to make a bird's beak out of our top hand. So we're just going to put our fingertips and our thumb together. Our hand is still pointing down, like we're going to drop a penny into something. So that's going to come straight forward at shoulder height. And then our left hand, we're going to have a stop sign hand, palm toward the left side of the ring. And then we come back to the ball with that left hand on top, right hand on the bottom. So then we do our bird's beak. As we're reaching that out, we're extending our stop sign hand toward the right wall with the right hand. And both hands are at shoulder height, and we come back to our ball. So bird's beak coming to the front, stop sign hand, and I'm looking toward my stop sign hand. So we're going to face the direction where we have our stop sign hand on this one. Back to our ball. So bird's beak, extending the hand to the wall, lining up. I try to think about, my nose is about lined up with where my middle finger is when my hand is in stop sign position. So now my left hand is on top of the ball. We'll do one more on each side. So bird's beak and stop sign hand and back to the ball. And then bird's beak and stop sign hand and back to the ball. Okay, so right now my left hand is on top of the ball. We're going to go into parting the wild horse's mane. Now on this one, the top hand is just going to go down kind of at a diagonal to our side, while the other one comes up toward the back corner of the ring. So, and we face the hand that's reaching back. And then that hand comes just kind of up back into the ball, and it becomes the top of the ball. And the other hand comes back together at the same time. So we form the ball together. So the bottom hand is going to sweep upward, palm kind of up like we're holding a tray behind us toward the top corner. And then it's going to come back to the ball. It's easy to forget about the other hand, but the other hand that is down is just reaching kind of parallel to the floor. So my right hand is coming up, palm up, kind of like I'm holding a tray toward the back corner on the right side, and slowly coming back to the ball. So it just kind of gets us reaching. It's the only one I can think of where we're really just reaching back straight into a back corner and coming back to our ball. So I'm reaching up with the right side. This can be our last one of these, and back to our ball. And now my right hand is on top. So the next one we'll do, we're going to wave hands like clouds. So we're going to have I sweep through. So my top hand is they're going to switch positions. So they're just going to move right past each other in this one. So then my left hand is palm up on top and my right hand is palm down on the bottom. So that's how I do it. I go from the ball and I just move the hands past each other. And I go toward the left because the elbow that's on top is the direction that we go. And we look into the corner and switch. And now my right palm is up, my right hand is on top. And they're the same distance as when we're in a ball. So I'm switching. It's very like the ball, but our palms are just oriented differently. So switch, but it works different muscles, just rotating our hands. And then we switch. And we're just turning toward the corner, just like we did when we were holding the ball. And switch. I'm going back toward the right side. Sorry, that's my cat making noises. And I'm going back toward the left. Okay. So now I'm going to get back to the ball position with my right hand on top of the ball. Now from here, we'll do Fair Lady Works It Shuttles. Now this is one of the two trickier ones. So at this point, my bottom hand is gonna come up to my forehead. It's gonna face the wall in front of me, and my hand is kind of against my thumb is to my hairline. That's where it is. So that's where it is with my hand just up against my forehead. And then my right hand faces the corner of the room opposite. So right hand is in stop sign position at shoulder height facing the left corner. So then we come back to our ball and the hand that's on the forehead becomes the top of the ball. So then the bottom hand, which is the right hand now, is going to come up, left, the thumb is going to touch the forehead, left hand goes toward the right corner. And this is another one where we can breathe in on one side, breathe out as we go to the other side. So I'm back to the ball. So now left hand up toward the forehead, palms facing the wall in front of me. Then I turn toward the left side, and the right hand is in stop sign form as we're doing that. And then slowly back to our ball. So now we're gonna right forehead, left hand to the right corner. And then come back to our ball. And I know this one is one of the trickier ones. And then we'll do one more to where the right hand is to the left corner. And back to our ball. And now my left hand is on top. And that one is one of the trickier ones. That one and grasping the peacock's tail, I think, are the trickiest ones. But as long as you're moving and trying, we'll keep working on it and we'll get it. And if you have specific questions, please let me know. Okay, so the next one we'll do is Repulse the monkey. So my left hand is on top of the ball now. So I'm going to reach it straight in front with my palm toward the floor. My right hand is going to reach kind of behind me, like almost a swimming move. It's going to reach up and around. So it's going to reach straight kind of back. And it's going to rotate like we did in one of the earlier ones to where my palm is coming back toward the front and I'm coming back into the ball. So I'm trying to think how to, that one's a harder one to describe, but my right hand comes up straight, left hand kind of reaches through. So my palm kind of, I hinge at the elbow and kind of come up, back up and around toward the front to where my hands meet again in the ball form. So now my left hand is on top, right hand is on the bottom. left hand comes straight in front of me at shoulder level. The other one comes kind of, palm comes back, it comes back behind, rotates as it comes around, and then the hand is overhead and comes back to become the top of the ball. So we'll do that a couple more times. So the bottom hand is going to just kind of, it sweeps downward and then comes up around like a swimming motion and comes back into the ball. And that's the one I was focused on. The top hand just kind of stays there as the one that's moving. My right hand sweeps up, kind of behind and around, and comes back into the ball form. So it makes kind of a little circle there. Okay. So after this one, we'll do brushing the knee. Now we're going back to, this one's a not as complicated one. And the hand that's on top, we're going to do a stop sign hand directly in front of us. And the other hand is going to come just straight beside our knee, palm toward the floor. So straight ahead with one hand, the other is beside our knee. And then when we come back to the ball, the hand that was beside the knee becomes the top of the ball. So the hand that was reaching down is on the top now. So we reach, so our palm is in front of us. The other hand is parallel to the floor, like in a stop sign toward the floor. And then we come back, and that one, the one that was down, is the top of the ball. So extending hand, other hand toward the knee, by the knee toward the floor, and then come back into our ball. So then we're extending. My left hand is the stop sign hand, and the other hand is reaching down and back toward our ball. And we'll do one more. So right hand reaching forward with that stop sign hand, and the other toward the floor, and back to our ball. Okay, so next is grasping the peacock's tail. This one, our bottom hand is going to sweep to the side. So we're going to, like, fingers are going to come down and then sweep up to the side just a little higher than shoulder height. So in that same fingertips last formation, the other hand kind of follows it, but is palm up, going toward the right as well. So both hands kind of sweep in that direction, and then they come down in front of us and our hands cross. So both are palms up, our hands cross. And then we take our hands, the back of the hands go toward the right front corner. They come back toward our shoulders, like in the I surrender that we did before. And then palms push toward that right corner. And then we come back to our ball, and our right hand is on top of the ball. So then we're going to swoop up again with this left hand. So we're going to swoop upward to the side, just a little past shoulder height, coming down in front of us, our hands crossed, and the back of the hands go toward the left side. They come back toward us into the I surrender with their palms toward that corner. And then the palms come toward that left corner. And then we come back to our ball with the left hand on top. And we'll go through this a couple more times. So we're going to sweep up toward the right side, coming down, crossing the hands, back of the hands toward the right corner, come back into the I surrender place, and then palms toward the right corner, and then back to the ball. So now my right hand is on top, and we'll do it again on to the left side. So swooping up, coming down, crossing the hands, back of the hands toward the left corner, come back to the I surrender position, push those palms toward that corner, and back to the ball with our left hand on top. I feel like that one is that one in the Fair Lady Works at Shuttles is one of the trickier ones, but it's satisfying when you really feel like you've gotten it. So hopefully that'll happen, or maybe you're already there. The people I could see doing it were doing a good job. So I just want to tell you that too. It looked good. Okay, so the next we'll do spinning wheel. And I think we're going to get through all the forms today, which I'm trying to get us up to the speed so when you join on Tuesdays that it'll be about this speed. So we're going to do spinning wheel, and this is where we have our palms facing each other directly overhead. And we're going to make a circle in front of us. So we're going to take it and go toward the right and slowly move to 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, which is directly in front of the knees, to 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. So another circle. We're going to do 4 circles on each side. So we're going to slowly move it up. I'm at 9 o'clock now, back to the top. I'm on my 3rd circle, sweeping around, coming back up to the top. And this will be the last one on this side. And coming back up to the top. Now we just switch directions and slow circles go in the opposite direction. We want to make sure we're doing everything evenly. So back up, that's 1. And coming around, I'm at 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, back up to the top. And coming around, I'm down to 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock to the top. I think we had 1 more. So coming around at 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and back up to the top. Okay, the next one will be spread your wings. And this one, we start in prayer position with our palms together toward our chest. Now, we straighten our elbows and our fingertips point to the wall in front of us. So our arms are straight and fingertips together. And then we open slowly to where we're still at shoulder height, like we're going to give somebody a big hug, palms toward the wall in front of us. And sometimes I give it a little extra squeeze here. And then slowly move them back together directly in front of us, fingertips toward the wall in front of us at that point. And then our elbows are back in prayer position. So slowly straightening the elbows, fingertips in front of us. Open those arms out like we're going to give a big hug. And then slowly move them back together. And then the elbows, and we're back into prayer position with our fingertips toward the ceiling. So this one, we're going to inhale as we extend. Exhale as we open the arms. And then inhale as we bring them together. And exhale as we come back into prayer position. So we'll do 1 more where we can, so extend, open into the hug position. We're going to give a big hug, come back together, and bring those back to our chest. Okay. So next we'll do fly like a wild goose. And this one's like our commencing pose, but we're going to do it to the side. So we're going to do it at 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock instead. So our hands are going to be down and we're going to bring them up, fingertips last, to about 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock position, and then switch our hand position so our fingertips are the last thing to come back down. So I'm down at the bottom. Now I'm coming back up. And my arms are coming up, and then switching positions with the hand. So fingertips are the last thing down. So we'll do another of that. Coming up and down. Okay. And then the last thing we'll do is pressing palms. So this one, we're going to overlap our fingertips just a little with our palms up. And we're going to breathe in. And this is one I know we've done before. And bring our hands up toward the chin. So we're going to take a deep breath in. And my thumbs are like pointing toward the wall in front of me. That's how my hands are oriented. And coming down. And we're going to take a deep breath as we're coming up with our hands. So it just sort of helps us think about our breath. We're filling up on the way up and pushing all the air out on the way down as we come back toward our laps. So coming up, inhaling, and exhaling on the way down. And we'll do 1 more here. Inhaling and exhaling. Okay, so we did everything this time, and I wanted to see how much we could get in there, but I feel like I had to sacrifice a little bit of the description to the specifics of it to get us there. How do you all feel about this pace? Was it doable? Was it harder to follow? What did you all think?
I don't know. I thought it was doable. I just, yeah, the couple of the harder ones that you mentioned, I would have liked more time on those, but that's really the only comment I have. Yeah, so I mean, but you said that it'll take time maybe to get those. So that's my opinion. Anybody else?
And
Yeah.
and those took the Tuesday class a while to get to. So
Mhm.
those are more difficult for all the moving parts for everyone to get. And they've just been doing it a while, which is why they get through all of them every time. We didn't at first. It was picking and choosing at first. So they built up to it just like this group is doing. So y'all are doing really well. And I just wanted to tell you that.
Yeah, I think once you become more familiar with the moves, then yeah, it moves faster. So
Yeah. And I try to explain it a little differently, like try to bring like a different part of it and think about it each time. So hopefully, I don't know, hopefully that's not confusing, but any feedback on that, please tell me. Or if I can explain it, like once you've figured it out, if there's an easier way to say what I'm trying to say, please jump in and let me know. Because I'm open to.
When you come back, when you say come back to the ball, sometimes I'd like to hear you tell me which hand goes on top at that point instead of
Okay.
later. Yeah, that would be nice.
That's
Okay.
exactly what I was gonna say. Yeah, I get confused which hand is up and down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
But I thought
remember.
the base was fine. I thought that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Okay, well, I've got a little meditation about mindfulness and kind of staying in the present moment, if that's okay. Are y'all okay with that? Are you good? We'll get out before a little bit before 1. I think this one is 10 minutes, if that's okay.
Yes, definitely. Is it time to the somebody else?
Time to stop recording if
Recording. Yeah.